I'm ready.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the CCDA teleconference today. I am Dr. David Paul, a board member of CCDA, and I'm very happy to be here today and to be introducing Anna. Anna is presenting on a topic called Bridging the Gap, Empowering Career Counselors to Unlock Highly Skilled Immigrant Talent in Non-STEM Fields. Anna, if you want to just introduce yourself and get right into your presentation, that'll be great.
Of course. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to my session. Welcome to my workshop. I'm really happy to be here for today. It's the first time for me when I'm presenting my approach and my technology in professional space using English. Please be kind. I will try to do my best. But let me tell you a little bit more about me because my personal story will be important, I think, in our in the context of our conversation because I'm a highly skilled immigrant in non-STEM field. I'm working as a career counselor more than 10 years now. I can say like that since 2014. I usually practicing in private field. I don't have any experience as a career counselor in at university, but I have an interesting experience as a career counselor in corporate field and corporate approach. It's a unique field and unique way which we use in my own country when I was grown up and. I'm also an active recruiter. I'm working at a recruiting agency focusing on the tech field, but I'm not a technical recruiter person. I'm focusing on sales people and other business people, not only engineers. And I'm also, as I already told you, an immigrant. And using these three perspectives, I will try to share my approach, how I working with highly skilled immigrants, because it's my main focusing. I started my career with two things. First of all, I started as a resume writer and person who prepare people for job searching process. And second part of my specializing was career guidance. Lots of clients come to me and ask me about, okay, what kinds of job might be fit for me? Please help me to find my right way. Please help me to find my dream job. Since that experience, I started my career and then I moved to the United States, and everything in my life was changed. But before we go to that part, let me ask about your experience because it's a good time and place for networking. I think it's you're no better than me. Networking is important, and please let me tell me a little bit more about yourself. What is your name? Which state or city do you live in? Because I will talk specifically about California job market, but I think most of my advices and approaches might be fit for other places, and it's not a border between us. And can you share also your LinkedIn profile? Because I would like to continue our connection after our workshop, because it's also important for me to build my networking in a new country. And I also will be happy to share my LinkedIn page after our workshop. And I hope I will have a chance to again continue our connection. Let's talk a little bit about my story. As I already mentioned, it might be important in the context of our workshop because I will use my personal example as a your typical client example who might, for example, go to you and ask about your service, ask about your help, or what is the key points of my story. Until the age of 27, I lived in Russia. I was born in Russia. It's my home country. And I have, I can say, successful career in Russia because I obtained a master's degree in education. My major was history and social science. And I have lots of certification in human resource management, career counseling, psychology, and coaching. We have different education system if we compare Russia and United States, because for us, we can continue our education and using something like requalification. If you want to change your career path, you can just bought a couple of courses and requalified yourself to another field. And this is my case specifically because after I finished my university, I decided to continue my career in human resource management way. And since that time, I have lots of successful stories. I was the head of teachers, training of development department, HR department, and international education technology company, and also continue my practice as a HR and career consultant. I work specifically with adults and other businesses, and also have an experience as an instructor for other career counselors at the career management school. I continue this part of my career, but you should understand that I'm using only Russian for teaching, practicing, and I think you also can understand that my main tools is language, culture, and maybe psychology, I can say like that. I should understand people minds, people thoughts, people behavior, and using my language, using my speech as a main tool to communicate with my clients, candidates, coworkers. This is a basement of my experience. And then my story is changed. I moved to the new country. I moved to Ireland, first of all. I lived in Dublin more than 3 years, but my language was really weak. I couldn't speak fluent. I can say like that. I could read, but I can't speak in that time. And I continue my career in Russian before war started. I think you're familiar with that awful case. And then I decided to finish my career and finish my connection with Russia. And next couple of years was really difficult and hard for me and tough for me. I had an unpleasant and unsuccessful experience with relocation to the United Kingdom, and then I was lucky and have a chance to move to the United States in 2023. But why it's important part of the story? Because when I moved, everything in my life dramatically changed. I can't use my language for work. I can't use my certifications. I can't use my education, and I also can't continue connection with Europe because time zones is also dramatically different between us, and I just have a couple of hours in my working day when I can communicate with people from Europe. And since that time, I was troubled because what should I do in this situation? How I can continue my career? Uh, how I can earn money? It's an important part of our life, I can say like that. And I'm unfortunately not alone in this story because if we see around and explore our environment, most of people in California specifically also are immigrant. That's You're familiar with that part of story, I think. I just checked the data how many people in California are immigrants, and what I found. First of all, you can see the huge part of immigrants community also have a has a bachelor degree or higher. Most of us are highly qualified and highly skilled, like me in my case specifically. But if we make deep dive view on this data, what we can see? We can see that many of us working in tech field. I think it's reasonable because California is the most famous place for tech for technology, right? And if we check the data, we can see that most college-educated workers work in electronic and computer equipment manufacturing, IT field, technology startups, and etc. But we also have another interesting interesting area. It's healthcare. It's also reasonable, and another part of us working in healthcare and skilled in nursing facilities or closer to that part. But come back to our topic. What about non-STEM immigrants? We also here. But what's the difference between us? Highly skilled technical and STEM immigrants have little preference, I can say like that, because most of them come and already have visa sponsorship and workplaces. If you see the statistics in 2024, nearly 80,000 numbers, not my strong side, 80,000 workers already have H-1B visa sponsorship from huge companies like Google, Meta, Apple, Amazon, and like of them. But in our case specifically, if we speak about non-STEM immigrants, nobody is waiting us, but we already here who we are. STEM immigrants families, as in my case specifically, my husband and a software engineer. University graduates, I have a friend, she's also a career counselor, and we spoke a lot about next steps of people who finish their university and education in non-STEM areas, non-STEM field, and what is the next steps? Who will be their visa sponsorship helper? Who wait them? Nobody. Green card lottery winners is also an interesting category. Sometimes I meet them as a candidates in my working processes, and most of them don't have STEM education. It's just a usual people who, as me, grown up in another country and have a career in something humanitarian, I can say like that, and then they move and everything is changed. Farmers, athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, and everybody who want to continue their career in global way, for example, because I will be honest with you, as an immigrant who grown up in the, I can say, poor country, and we don't have so many opportunities because our economy is weak, and we don't have so many private businesses. Unfortunately, most of them align with government, and it's a specific area for continue your career. And everyone who have a potential has a potential is dreaming about next steps in a global market, because it's another opportunity, it's another possibilities for us to using our talents. And all of us come to the United States and would like to continue our career. But I think we are facing with lots of challenges and problems in that way. And lots of them might be crucial and hurt and dramatically have dramatically influence on our lives, not only in our career. And I would like to ask you, because you're also experienced career counselors, what do you think? What the main problem I and other people in that with the similar background might face when they start their job search processes in the United States if they are not a STEM immigrant. Please share your thoughts. You can use microphone, you can use chat as you wish, what is comfortable for you. I would like to have a little discussion with you because I have that experience to communicate with immigrants as a clients, but I think you also experience it in it.
Anna, one of the attendees is citing a lack of licensure in the United States as an issue.
Yeah, Shirley, thank you so much. It's a good point. Maybe something else? Tend to be older in age and do not want a long education process before being eligible to work. Thank you, Jennifer. It's so expensive in California. How do I find a job that will allow me to pay my rent and child care? Oh my God, numbers is usually shocked me. When I check salary ranges, they are completely different between STEM and non-STEM people. Usually, as I already mentioned, I'm an active recruiter and I speak with people from from technology. And when I compare their salaries with usually job openings, which I see on Indeed, for example, for my site specifically, I'm confused because it's dramatically different. And if I will be alone in my way, I think I will be in big troubles. Along with those having to start over on their career, the individual is highly accomplished and make a lot of money in their home country. Hard to have same lifestyle in the United States, in the US. Okay, I absolutely agree. Complex application system, language barriers. I absolutely agree. Okay, any other ideas? If you have something, please share. I think we can move on to my part. I try to collect all problems on one slide. About my slide specifically, please using it like a guideline. Maybe I prefer to put more information than I can pronounce. It's also about my language barrier, but after our interview, this just mixed my thoughts. After our workshop, you can use my slides as a guideline. You can just make a screenshot and come back to them and explore more information, and we can maybe have time to discuss. But come back to the challenges. I try to collect them. I try to put them on some kinds of groups, I can say, add them to the groups to help you explore them more easily. And also, we will need this approach to the next steps when I will explain my approach. If we see on the screen, we can we can imagine them like a triangle, I can say. On the top of it, you can see, I can name them like technical challenges. Weak resume, poor written resume, unexperienced with job boards and job searching processes, application systems, limited LinkedIn use because not in my country, for example, specifically, LinkedIn is banned. We can't use it. It's this is prohibited. And not everyone have specific tools to avoid this restriction. And undeveloped interview skills, because not only because of language barrier, but also because of different specific in interviewing processes. And of course, unfamiliar with employment laws and formalities because the system is completely different. For example, if we compare United States with Russia, we have only two type of settlement agreement between employee and employer. But in the United States, you have different forms of it, and you might be confused with it. But it's like a top of our triangle, is like a top of our problems. If we work only in this level, we can solve it because you are experienced as a career counselor in that points. It's your main work responsibilities. You are familiar with job searching process, and you can help them change their CV, change their interviewing style, and etc. But it's like, if we compare, it's like a remodeling in the house. You change appearance, but the main problem on construction will be cover beautiful appearance, because the main problem lay a little bit deeper. What it might be. Second level of our problems is professional things, like you already mentioned: license, certifications, education background, no local experience. What else? Different role structures. For example, for your understanding, I work with sales, and sometimes we have job openings in Europe, and I can compare candidates from Europe with candidates from the United States. In Europe, they have only one job title, which they call sales manager. But for you, sales managers, the person who is responsible for people management, for team management, who has a coach and leader and mentor for other sales people in the team. But for them, sales managers, the one is a full cycle salesperson who searching clients, have negotiation, selling products, making demos, and something like that. But in the United States market, we have sales development representative, business development representative, account executive, partnership, channel sales, and lots of unfamiliar and unknown title for person who grow up in another country and have another experience. And if we compare their resume, we have this dramatic difference between experiences. And it's also about a skill gap, of course, because if you are, I don't know, responsible for everything, you might be you might not have deep skills or competences in something important. And the different styles of business communication and lots of things. I think you are familiar with that. I don't want to waste your time. And of course, the problem is with the sponsorship, limited with the sponsorship, especially now, because we have a trouble around us with visa things, and I'm already familiar with cases when my clients also who made an application to into green card already failed it and have non-positive negative have negative answer, unfortunately. And this is a real problem, especially for students who have non-STEM background and finish their education now and would like to obtain a visa sponsorship and continue their career in the United States. And what else? As you also already mentioned, it might be a language and a cultural gap between us. First of all, of course, language things is important because for non-STEM immigrants who usually involved in communication with people and customer-facing roles, language things is language is the main, as I already mentioned, the main working tool. And if you are not so strong in your language, it might be problem for you to find a job in your previous role, as you have experience in your own country. And of course, it's a culture difference, not only culture in classical way, but also a business culture difference. For example, I think you're familiar with funny knows that Russian people are very directive, and we prefer to say things as is without sugar. But it's not, it's just a half part of true. By the way, sometimes it might be a problem because my communication might looks rude for you. And sometimes I don't know, I don't understand why people don't want to continue communicate with me. And what else? The most important part is like a lack of networking opportunities. You are not only fresh in this society, but you also don't have any references from your previous workplace. And it's a huge problem when we should check reference for someone who started their career in another country. We should call. I have that funny experience. I called to Israel. I called to United Kingdom and other countries and try to speak with people who also have poor English, and sometimes it's really hard to find the right way for communication. But it also not at all. It also not the last thing. The last thing and the most important thing of our triangle is the bottom of it, is psychological problems. It's loss of professional identity. Because I grown up and I have my successful career and I have lots of communication. I have a brand, a personal brand, and people are familiar with me. I have lots of plans and etc. And then everything was changed. And who I am, who I am now. What is my next step? What should I do? And of course, it has a bad influence on self-esteem, on confidence, and how I can say that, back me to my internal conflicts and unsuccessful, unproductive beliefs. And if we start work with immigrants only from top of the triangle, other problems back us to the first step. And I would like to ask you, if you already have that experience, I think you already have it. How do you typically work with such clients as I mentioned? Do you have any your specific approaches or maybe your advices? Let's give us time to share it with each other, because might be really the most important part, I think, of my workshop. Before I will continue with my approach, I would like to give you a time for sharing, because it's the most powerful thing of that event, I think. Don't be shy using microphone.
Anna, do we want to break off into like breakout groups so people can have a small conversation, or do you want something large?
I think we can continue in large group if people are ready to share. If not, we can make a breakup rooms, of course. Yeah. Maybe if my question was incorrect, please let me know. It might be language barrier also. We work with professionals, refugees, by providing them guidance in the US job market, retraining for lower level position in their industry. Liv, thank you so much. It's really valuable.
Yeah, Anna, I personally don't work with too many immigrant clients anymore, but when I was working at a university, I was working very closely with the offices that are set up to help those students. And oftentimes that's what it takes, is that little connection of putting a program together, leading a session together with those other resource offices, because it is such a hard system to navigate in. And
Mhm.
one person isn't going to solve it for them, right? There's that old saying of it takes a village. I mean, to raise kids, but it takes a village sometimes to help other people out too. So especially if you work in a college or a university, partnering up would be good.
Thank you, Rick. I see the hand.
Hello, my name is Elif. So I wanted to share that I think your question, right, like you were saying, highlighting the psychological complexities, the impact, I think that's a very important one. So one way I do that, I work with a lot of international students who are navigating, wanting to become immigrants or asylum seekers, and people with multiple intersecting identities. I think one place to start to me is always hearing their unique story, like not rushing into only employment experiences, what they currently want to do, or rushing into a resume, but really taking some time to understand their story. So, what brought them to this country? What was their life like before? So really acknowledging the survivorship, the resilience that comes with that transition process. And sometimes telling them, like, I want to hear your story a little bit, understand the background. And it really helps us to hear some emotions, but also mirror them. So people can acknowledge what they are experiencing more holistically. And yeah, sometimes it leads to processing a lot of grief, like as you were saying earlier, the life that's kind of left behind, the connections, the professional identity, all of that, relationships, and then, like, making space both for that grief, that transition, and at the same time, like, after that validation, acknowledgement, really exploring like what it is that they are looking forward to, and sharing with them some success stories, like some strength, some ideas about what it can be like and to me, I will also acknowledge that sometimes it's difficult to decenter the professional identity, work identity that they are grieving for. So maybe in those instances, like some values reassessment and helping them to think about how they can accept some of the structural barriers in place and still live a values driven life. So I personally also really benefit from such an approach with such people. It takes time, though, I must say, and sometimes You just help them to develop the skills to live with that type of grief lifelong, right? Like accepting that that's something that they will be navigating maybe their whole life. It will just change. The intensity will change, and as they become more resourceful in this country, it will be easier to cope. Like infusing that hope.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Liv. Thank you, everyone who sharing their experience. Especially, I'm really proud to hear people who work with students, because for me, personally, I will be honest with you, to work with students, the most difficult part of my work, because if we speak about the person who just who's young, I can say like that, and it's their first time when they involved in job searching processes, they are not so familiar with this world, and you should navigate them, and in the same time you should help them to understand their new reality. It's the most difficult part. And if we speak about other people who already have previous experience, as Elif mentioned, it's a really important part to help to give them a time to accept their new reality, to understand it. It's and storytelling approach, I think, is a good tool for that. I'm not so familiar with that methodology, with the technology, but I know that to create maybe to retell your personal story and to create your new story, it should be really helpful to understand these changes and make a transition between two realities, between two moods, and to help you build your new identity. We will talk about that a little bit later. Let me check other answers. Oh, so many answers. Thank you so much. Really building rapport with clients and getting to know them and about their life and career in their previous home country. Learning more about what they like and dislike about it and what they would like to do now. If it's the same type of work, teaching them about the processes and really being supportive and making connection with their others offices when we will working with the example foreign transcript evaluation. Thank you so much. And I'm in a loud space, so cannot unmute, but I always let the community college students share their background and speak about it extensively in the session. I think it provides space there we can express their expertise and backgrounds they are proud, and it demonstrates that their previous career identities matter. About sharing previous experiences, also interesting point. Most of them are shy to share our previous life, just because sometimes you can find yourself in situation when you always speaking about your previous life, and when something is happen, your reaction is, okay, in Russia it was like this. And sometimes it's you're embarrassed. It's embarrassing to share the story all the time, and it's really helpful when other people tell you that your story is available. It's matter for us to get to know you, and all of these things. International students are difficult to assist since they require OPT. Yeah, we refer that to opportunities available in Handshake to find employers open to hiring international students. Absolutely. And we also speak about that. Thank you for sharing, Shirley. And resume building and interview skills are always big learning opportunities for them. We spend a lot of time on this. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with all of you. And the most important point, I think, for me, how we can build all of these points, all of these steps in one system, which can help our client to navigate in this complicated process smooth without any, I don't know, backups and difficulties in that way. And in my approach, I prefer to start with bottom and going to the top, like in the slide description. I always start with psychological problems and going then to professional part. Next step will be a technical issue like resume, interview, and etc. And the last part will be culture and social barriers, which they have in this way. Let's start from beginning. From the first step is the most important step, because this step helps make a transition between two stories, as we already mentioned in our previous discussion. It's the most valuable step, but it's also it's the hardest step in that approach, in that methodology. Why? Because sometimes we can meet more than career problems. We can meet lots of psychological things like beliefs, interpersonal conflicts, and grief, unproductive behavior, and etc. Most of them might be person's system problems, and it's not our layer of working, maybe, especially if you are not a psychologist, if you're not a counselor, if you have like an advisor background, but it's important part of our work. I prefer to use two important steps. First of all, explore new in my client life. As you mentioned, the life is changed, but new country gives you new opportunities and new image of new view of future, right? And you can use it, but you can change your identity and reality using this approach. I usually ask them to make a couple of exercises. This is a custom exercises which I created for them specifically. It's open questions exercises. Some of them ask people to use their imagination and create their new story in the future. Some of them ask people about their background and ask them to use their real skills, but it doesn't matter. The key point that I ask them about their new personal goals and new personal plans, how they change after moving, after relocation. What is your new how you can see yourself now in new environment. And next step, it's also important step, we make a connection between their personal identity and work plans. I ask them, what job does you need to find, or you need to do to achieve these new goals? Can you describe it? Not the name of job, not the name of role or competences or something, just description. And I will share you an example a little bit later. And second step, when we after we spoke about the future, we're going to speak about personal background. As you mentioned, it's important to accept your achievements, your results, your previous experience, and use it to new environment, new space. But we should assess it, we should describe it, and we should maybe revisit it. And in this step, I usually ask them about their personal talents, about their natural talents, strong sides, comfortable style of activity, motivation style, knowledge and skills and their level, and also about their work experience, of course, in their previous life. And I use a little bit, I use these tables and files to create the description, because I prefer to give my clients artifacts after our work together. And you can see the description, how it's look like. In the left side, you can see new plans, in my case specifically, and the right side, you can see what kinds of job I can do, I should do, I must do, if I would like to achieve these new goals. And this job description will help me as a career counselor to find the right place for that talent. And second step might looks like this. It's also to have two sides. Left side, it's description of my natural talents, comfortable style of activity, motivation, which factors can, push me to do something, with a smile on my face. And the right side is a review of my skills. If you notice, I apart them to a couple of groups. I would like, I like it, I don't like it, I can do that, and what from them is have a in popular on the market. And this exercise helped me as a career counselor to understand my clients' plans in new environment, and also my client's background, and help my client to see his background on the screen and accept it. Wow, I am so cool. I have lots of things in my past. I did a great job, and I can use this as my basement, as my as a fundamental I don't know, space to make a jump to the next level. And second step, to create new professional opportunities. Okay, we understand who you are, what is your identity, what is your strong sides, what is your desires, and how you can make a connection between them. And now it's time to find the right way to using your talents. It's the second step. In this step, you will need to you should understand the market environment, the market specifics, and can make a connection between person's desires and plans with market reality. It might be a little bit hard, but I would like to notify two things for you. If you are not so familiar with the environment, it's okay, because working with non-STEM people is the most hardest, I think, area, because we have lots of different roles and different professional fields, right? And you can't be familiar with all of them. But for make your job easier, we are in the tech market. As we already saw in previous slides, we have two hotspots. It's technical companies and healthcare companies. But if your client don't have specific background in tech or healthcare, it's also okay. It's these companies like the others companies. They have the same structure. They have sales, they have product part, they have marketing, they have support functions like HR, finance, IT, administration, and facilities. And usually only in product part, we need specific license and background in this field. But in sales, marketing, and support functions, usually more open for candidates from with different experience. And another important tool is my little secret, which I would like to share with you. I'm using AI. This specific tool, which name is Perplexity, you can use it to explore data with not only like in ChatGPT, like a conclusion way, right, in summary, but you can also see links and you can also see sources, and using I can say it's best better sources than just open internet and explore the first link. If I would like to get to know more about a known market for me, the Perplexity is the best decision to collect data and create some kinds of documents about this market and using it in the next steps. I will be honest with you, I use Perplexity not only for market research, but for others things, but it's another type of conversation. If you will be interested, please let me know. I will be happy to share my approach in separate workshop. But after second step, using all kinds of tools you might have and your knowledge about the market, you can create with your client 3 to 5 roles list and make help this person to make a choice. Using your previous criteria from first step, you already know what kinds of background they have and what kinds of dream they have, and you can assess what the market give you and find the better solution, especially if we speak about non-STEM immigrants with language barrier. You can assess what is the most openness roles for people who have foreign background. In my case specifically, if you can see on the screen, it will be recruiting coordinator, talent acquisition specialist, or recruiter, as I am. Everything is clear, because for others roles I need license and I need local experience, and also this market is really tough and small and not so open for people with others background. And the third step will be describe new workplace, because you will need an information to which help your client to create CV, prepare to interview, and create new communication. And in these steps, we usually make 2 tables with my clients. First table about new role is a full description of what the role title, what is your key objective, what is the KPIs you might have, what core competences, and something like that. And also I usually notify superpower of my client, what kinds of facts in their and achievements in their experience might be really valuable in your environment. And second part, you can see it's a company profile and company description, because resume and interview is a marketing communication, and you can make a message to another side, to the hiring manager who have his specific needs, their specific needs. And when you create a new identity, new communication, you can use this information to next steps. But it's not the last step. If we speak about complex work, I usually stop this working process in one important point. If we speak previously, sometimes our immigrants, our clients should start their work journey with more easiest and simple workplaces because of their limits. But not all of them have a dream to continue their career in downgrade way, right? To help them to support their motivation and new identity and next steps, I usually prefer to create the picture of future career, to speak with them about career path, about timeline, and discuss, of course, about specific steps to push my client make new steps, make real steps to the new future. And after that, we already might be ready to go to the last points, create resume, create cover letters, LinkedIn pages, using information from previous steps about company profile and role description. And the last step will be give guidance about cultural things, language barriers, and some kinds of formalities about employment. That's it. Why I try to use this approach? What is his, I think, strong side in my experience specifically? It's two things. First of all, it gives client comprehensive assistance with self-realization and up-to-date information. Help and support client with all of their needs in that processes. And second step about me as a counselor and a consultant, it helps me to make my work more, I don't know, structure, give more structure in my work, and save my time using automation and using repeating steps and repeating materials, maybe information which I can use not only specifically for one person, but share it with all of my client list. And also, I think it should help with building strong relationship between you and your client, and help it make you as a partner, not as a, how it works. Was the last forward on my presentation. I saw lots of information on the chat. I hope I will chance to explore that, but if you don't mind, please revisit your experience using the link. Let me your feedback. I will be really happy to check it. Again, it was the first time when I using my English to express my professional approach. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your answers and communication with me.
Anna, thank you so much for your presentation. That was just wonderful. I particularly loved your use and mention of the career clubs. I have found that to be a very successful and great intervention with people. If you have any questions, we have just a few minutes for Anna until the next scheduled event. I'm just scanning the chat. If anyone needs to ask a quick question, you're welcome to try and unmute yourself. And please do remember to fill out the evaluation and give Anna all that great feedback. Anna, that was wonderful. Really great presentation, and I think your English is far better than you give yourself credit for. I think
people from California are very kind to my English. Thank you so much.
That was very good. Kudos to you. Really well done. And your PowerPoint was excellent as well. Any questions? Please do fill out the evaluation, and remember to fill out the conference evaluation as well.
Yeah, and I will be happy to continue our connection on LinkedIn. If you have any private question, please using my LinkedIn and ask me about it.
That's great. Yeah.